All right, everyone. We are going to do some problems for, we're going to start with solutions to two variable equations, but from there on, it's all going to be about slope. Slope is one of the most important things as you begin Algebra 1 to understand, all right? Because linear functions are the first type of function that you explore. So let's look at this linear. This is a linear function, just so you know. Linear function, and that means when you graph it, it will make a straight line. Okay, so what pair from this list, 2, 1, 4, 9, or both 2, 1, and 4, 9 are solutions? To figure that out, all we have to do is substitute into our equation. So 2 is our x, and 1 is our y. And then here we have a different x and y. So let's go ahead and substitute and we'll see what happens. So here's our equations. We're going to bring that down here. But instead of y, we're going to write 1 and 4. And then instead of x, we're going to write 2 in parentheses. So we substituted the x and the y. And then we use order of operations to simplify this side. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 7 is 1. And 1 equals 1. Look at that. So that means that 2, 1 is a solution because we had 1 on the left side. And then when we simplified, we also got 1 on the right side. All right, let's try that. See if that happens with 4 and 9. So I'm going to, over here, I'll just write 9 for my y. And I know I got the 4 for my slope. And then that 4 is our x. So it's 4 times 4 minus 7. 4 times 4 is 16 minus 7. 16 minus 7 is 9. So again, 9 on the left, 9 on the right. So that means the answer is C. It is possible that we got different numbers here and here, and that would mean that that point is not a solution. All right, so let's see if you get any of those when you're doing your practice. But now we're going to look at slope from a graph. We looked at this in week 1, but it's important that everyone gets this to 100%. So we're going to look at it one more time in week 3 here. What is the slope of this line? So you can see, first of all, you should see that it's positive because the line is going up. So I'll show you the steps and all of that, but you also just want to look at it and know that it's positive. So if you're doing your steps and you get a negative, something went wrong. Okay. So now we're going to pick 2 points that we can identify. So I can identify this point. So I go up the line. Looks like this point. Looks like basically every 2 as I go up, it crosses right through there. So I'm just identifying all of them that you can choose from, but now just pick 2. So between 2, any 2, it doesn't matter, but any 2 of those dots. So let me just pick this one and this one, and we'll just get on with it. So now I'm going to draw a right triangle. Okay, so if you're writing down the steps, step 1, pick 2 points that you can identify because it crosses right through to integer coordinates. Step 2, draw a right triangle, and now we're going to label the horizontal and vertical side. So the horizontal side here is 1, and the vertical side is 2, and the slope is the vertical over the horizontal. It's a ratio of change. It's a ratio of the vertical change to the horizontal change. So the vertical change is 2, and horizontal change is 1. So it is 2. 2 over 1 is 2. Okay. Graphing. So now we can use that same idea this time, and ignore this blue line here. That is when you're doing your assignment, you'll use that. But we're going to just do this freehand. So graph a line that contains the point -7, -4, and has a slope of -2/3. And remember, this is our vertical movement, and that's our horizontal movement, right? Okay, but we're going to start at our starting point, -7, -4. So from the origin, I'm going to go over 7 and down 4. I'm right here. Right here. That is point -7, -4. Now, from there, I could draw a right triangle. I got to go. I always attach the negative to the vertical. That way, I don't get confused. So I'm going to go down 2, and then I always go right for my horizontal. Unless I have to go backwards, but whenever I'm doing it the forwards way, I always attach the negative or the positive to the vertical, and then whatever the horizontal is, the denominator, I go right. Okay, so -2, I did that. That's my -2 there. Now I'm going to go right 3. 1, 2, 3. And so this is another point. And now I'm going to use my line tool. Now I'm going to draw a line. I'll go this way too. You're going to get the picture there. We have our line. This is a line that goes through the point -7, -4, and has a slope of -2/3. And we know that because we have this little right triangle of -2, 3. All right. But, okay, so this is very important too. You should know that every function, no matter whether it's linear, quadratic, or whatever, exponential, they can all be represented in 3 ways. We can see them as an equation or a rule, or a graph, which we just looked at. Graphs are fun because they're pictures, but a lot of times we start out with a table. Whenever you are starting to collect data, you usually just put it in a little table, and then the graphs and the equations, they come when you need to be more sophisticated. Okay, but we can calculate the slope in a table. So what we're going to do here is going to just choose 2 of the points. And remember, the slope is the vertical over the horizontal. The vertical over the horizontal change. And so remember also that the vertical is y and the horizontal is x. So what I like to do with the table is just draw these little guys there. And you want to use adjacent points and the same points, So, I mean, I guess you don't even have to use adjacent points. You just have to simplify the fraction. But here we go. Okay, so -4 to -3. What is the change there? Well, to get the change, I would subtract. And I would end up, well, I mean, or you could just do it in your head. Say, well, come on, well, Mr. Field. To get from -4 to -3, I have to add 1. Okay. And how about from 2 to 5? Well, you're probably saying to add 3, and that's right, because 5 minus 2 is 3. So you add 3. Okay, so the vertical here, the horizontal here. So what's our slope? Remember, vertical is on top. So 3 over 1. which is just 3. So don't get confused, you know, they're putting this on top, that on top. But you gotta remember to put the vertical on the top, the horizontal on the bottom. All right, the last one for now is the slope from 2 points. So I can actually just set it up like this and then do the table thing. And I could just draw my little lines there. And to get from 9, get from -7 to 9, you know, you have to add 16. It's quite a jump. And then to get from -1 to 3, I'd have to add 4. So my slope would be 16 is the vertical over 4. But see, that's simplified. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So the answer is 4. But I would be remiss if I left out the slope formula. Other teachers would say, what are you doing? Okay, so let's not forget the slope formula. Okay, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I was using the slope formula. I was just doing it in a different way. There's part of it's over there, part of it's over there. But this is another method that you can use to do the same calculation. So we have 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2. So we label them x1, y1, x2, y2, and then we substitute into the formula. So y2, as I look up there, is 9. y1 is -7. x2, as I look up at the question, is 3. x1 is -1. And you can see I did those calculations, and so you end up with the 16 over 4, and that's 4. All right. So if you have any questions, you can post it in the comments section on Google Classroom, and you can ask it in class. And I look forward to seeing you.